Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family beyond the binary, hello and welcome back to more collegiate Overwatch action brought to you by EGF. You're just joining us, my name, Warren Jugglegod Hammond, and I am joined again on the mic by Worst. How are you feeling after that first game? Ready for some more?
Yep, ready for some more. Indeed, we have a pretty nice matchup here between Fairfield and St. Peter's, so should be a good one to keep going with you, Juggle God.
Should be indeed. Peter's definitely looking to be a little, uh, probably coming out on top on this game. St. Peter's sporting a 6-1 record. Fairfield, the opposite, sporting a 1-6. So they're hoping to get get another win on the board for themselves as we head into Nepal. Gonna be starting off on Village just like we did last time, Worst.
Yep, definitely. Like you said last time, you can definitely run that brawl comp like we saw last time, but you can also run fair compositions. It's gonna be interesting to see what each side decides to go with, as it's not completely agreed upon. Well, like some teams are just prefer things, right? And sometimes you just gotta play with what you're good at.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this Fairfield team, I actually know several of these players. Logan Apollo, Brick, Walk, I've played with them all before, and despite sporting that 1-6 record, they are a fantastic team. So I think we're in for a nice matchup here today. Looks like maybe we will be getting at least one Pharah in the sky if what they're hovering over in spawn is anything to be believed.
Yep, definitely can opt into that Pharah here. It's very strong into rush compositions because what it allows you to do is kind of surround the enemy team and get damage onto all angles. It really becomes very difficult for your enemy Reinhardt to try and match it. We're not going to end up seeing the Pharah, but very similar vein could be that Junkrat or the Soldier. It's still going to have the same kind of style of surrounding and putting in damage under the backside.
And we've got Fairfield University coming out to the point a little bit quicker, but Walk is going to go down almost immediately. Brick finds their demise at the hands of Ratchet as well. Dello going to charge through, looking to see if they can clean up a few more picks here. And with this, St. Peter's going to come away with the first fight win.
Yep, first fight win goes their way. Generally, the Reinhardt kind of oversteps his boundaries there and doesn't realize there's a Junkrat. That's going to be a lot of damage going through your face. 2 concussion mines plus just 1 left click is going to do the majority of your HP bars. They're going to go really fast.
Yeah, Brick gonna have a hard time with this, although a couple of picks for either side now. Fairfield has an opportunity to start pushing in. They have the Shatter online. They try to throw it down, but not quite enough health to maintain themselves, especially with that amplification matrix, pardon me, coming up from St. Peter's. They're gonna hold again.
Holding on for now, but there's members by this point here for Fairfield. And it's going to be hard for them to try and remove them from around this point so far. The Ant Matrix can come in trying to sell this positioning.
Excellent fire strike coming out from Brick. Logan Apollo also finding a pick. There is going to be a res though, so they're almost back to full strength, but with Hunter going down now, that's half of their support line missing. It's only going to be up to Min to try and keep their team alive, and that's going to be a tough order. They're not going to be able to do it, and Fairfield comes away with their first possession.
Yep, there it is. Fairfield's first possession comes in, running a little bit more standard. Obviously has that Lucio instead of the Mercy. Mercy doesn't offer your Reinhardt basically anything. It's just for the backline. It's just going to be a pocket onto what seemed like Nachos so far. And he's got a lot of value out of that so far, but when that Mercy you can't get that Rein out of bad situations like Sellout was caught in. So generally that's why that Lucio is so preferred.
Indeed. Oh, but we've got a couple of pick quicks coming in now in favor of St. Peter's. One of their DPS, one of the supports is down for Fairfield. They are going to get a counter pick onto Ratchet, but this is going to be a tough thing for them to come back from. Clef is able to find the main tank. The res is going to come in, but Nachos is going to come back with Attack Visor. That's going to deal a lot of damage into this Fairfield team, and St. Peter's regains control of point.
Yeah, so what you're seeing right there is you're going to have Nachos and Min here just constantly off-angling. You saw that right there. The entire team was going to go main, and Nachos just went up kitchen, trying to poke them from the backside. It's really on their supports to kind of section themselves off from that angle fast enough. They just didn't quite in fast time, and so the Baptiste got caught, and once that Baptiste is gone, it's a war of attrition. You're not going to win.
And here we go, Ratchet trying to get a Deadeye in, but Walk is going to be there with a concussive blast, concussive mine to the face. Gil now moving into point is gonna pop that death blossom. They find one. Halston is out of mech and out of the fight. Fairfield coming back in with a vengeance here. They're gonna reclaim point right at the 94% mark for St. Peter's.
Now look at winning this fair, and so basically what they're trying to go for is more of the same that the soldier was looking for, but just a lot safer and also a lot more damage in bursts. The soldier does do quite a bit of damage, but is kind of held down by the angles they can take. Farah in the air isn't like kind of restricted to certain angles. Is still gonna go through top right here. Not sure if that's the play. People are teleporting. All I'm gonna think is people are teleporting on my screen. We are watching Melee apparently. Everyone's learning how to wave dash in real time. It's Fox versus Falco.
Yeah, we are getting a little bit of lag here in the production booth, but it seems to be working itself out. St. Peter's now positioning on this high ground, looking to drop once they kind of close the gap here. They're going to start with a self-destruct. It's going to catch one out. Walk is down. Brick now trying to keep the pressure on. They've got a shatter, but they're going to be taken out of the fight before they can use it. Going to lose that ultimate. 99% now on the board for Fairfield. Can they hold on to this? They're coming back into it. There is a res from Min, and crucially, Nacho's already providing value after they get resurrected. Hercules going to be able to get remech'd as well. This is a tough fight here. Both teams want this one desperately, but only one's going to walk away with the win. And speaking of walk, they come up big for Fairfield, and Fairfield takes the first sub-map.
Kind of the issue you kind of run in when you try to run that split comp with Pharah and Rush. Your Pharah wants to play slow, wants to poke. Your Ryan's D.Va want to go fast in because they don't have that much time before their resources are expended. They want to get that damage out as quickly as possible. Pharah isn't like that. Pharah is a slow, methodical, pressuring character, and when you're running those two different styles, one of them's not going to get enough value. I believe right there was the Pharah, so you have to play towards one pivotal kind of style, and if you kind of divert yourself in two different directions, you're gonna end up going nowhere. You're just gonna spin yourself around.
Indeed. They're still gonna go for an aerial look here, St. Peter's is, but this time it's gonna be Nachos on the Echo. That's gonna provide a lot more consistent damage coming out from the air. While continuing on the Junkrat, Fairfield's gonna come away with point possession initially. St. Peter's trying to take a couple different angles, especially Nachos. They want to get around that shield and find a squishy in the backline. Ratchet throwing in quite a bit of damage into the shield of Brick. Nachos finds a couple sticky bombs onto Brick as well, but Gil's gonna be there with the Flash Panda Hammer. Nachos gonna be rezzed though, and Fairfield comes away with point possession, but this fight is still going on. They still have to win it. Hercules is going to be able to take out the Immortality Field, and right after that, Brick finds sellout. So, Fairfield coming away with a nice fight win here.
Yeah, right now Fairfield has been kind of in control. And kind of like the tempo kind of flipped. One fight is all it took, and now it's never gone back the other way. I don't know if this Lucio will live. So, that sucks.
Clef might have bit off a little bit more than they could chew. They find the focusing beam a little too much to overcome. Nachos is going to duplicate the D.Va. They're going to be looking to get that self-destruct online as fast as they can. They're going to launch it towards the backup point. Shatter comes in, knocks down a couple members, and Nachos comes away with two. Excellent shatter bomb right there coming out from St. Peter's University. Now it's just Brick and a Dream. Nevermind Walk is back with a Riptire, not to be outdone by Nachos. They find two as well. This fight may be swinging back the way of Fairfield. It's just a 1v1 on point. Focusing beam now out from Nachos. They're getting a lot of damage into Brick, but the Immortality Field is there as well. They're gonna be able to keep them up. And Fairfield still holding on, but only for so long. It's now two members are out. Hercules is back in their mech. Can they stay on point? Can they bleed a little bit more percentage out of this? The shatter comes in from sellout, and that's going to clean things up. St. Peter's comes away with possession.
Yeah, very long stalled out fight. Good for them. If they're going to lose that fight, make it sure it takes as long as possible. Get as much percentage as possible right there. And we're going to kind of see if they can break the defensive setup, though. The Echo is going to shine here along with that Junkrat. And Walk has been getting surprising amount of value, but can they do it on offense when all their angles of approach are going to get shut down? You're going to have Ratchet here. He's called out. They know he's there. They're going to try and find him. Tire in. Not going to work.
No, it doesn't work that time. In fact, it's going to be Walk who finds Ratchet with a concussive blast. Soundberry now committed by Clef. Here comes a self-destruct once again from Halston. They're going to be taken out before they can remake. Excellent play there from Gil with another flash and the hammer. Nacho's not to be outdone, though. They're going to be able to take them out of the fight. Now it's a little bit in favor of St. Peter's. The focusing beam of Nacho's just doing tremendous work. They're going to come up with a 3K to end it.
Yep. And right now we're gonna have that percentage coming up. You're gonna see what the value that this Echo can provide, especially on defense. Sticky Mines, when you're walking in a straight line, basically on a rotation, very easy to hit, as compared to when you're in a defensive position. Know the Echo's coming and you're gonna dodge, dip in every which way. It's a lot harder when you have to walk a certain direction, because you can try and change up your movement, but at the end of the day, they know where you're gonna go.
Right, they do. Exactly.
Okay.
And Ratchet, though, bites off a little bit more than they can chew. Gil finds them with a body shot to end their reign right there. Now they're going to pop the amplification matrix. There's going to be a counter one coming out from St. Peter's as well. A lot of damage coming in now. St. Peter's has eclipsed Fairfield now in their capture percentage. Gil coming in big with another flash panda hammer. He's just been on the mark with all these. Nachos takes them out with a sticky bombs, though, and now a lot of healing having to be pumped into this Fairfield lineup. The mortality field has to be committed by Hunter because many members of St. Peter's are low. Shatter connects, though, in a big way for Sellout. They're able to clean up the point after that. The focus will be coming in again from Nachos, and that is gonna be St. Peter's holding on again. We are last fight territory now, as Fairfield was able to flip it. They're gonna have to get back to point fast.
Yep, and this is where it becomes harder to block this shatter right now. You're gonna walk in, you're gonna put that shield up, so much damage is gonna come through. If you charge, it's really bad for you. You're gonna take so much damage or just lose your life. If not everyone dies to this bomb, it's gonna be hard. There's a demon trying to remake on top of them, not gonna work.
Oh, here comes the shatter now from Stella. The immortality field is out to try and keep members of Fairfield alive, but it's only gonna last for so long. This is gonna be St. Peter's coming back, tying up this map of Nepal.
Yep, gonna be going to 1-1 here, looking for this final round inside Sanctum to try and see who is gonna win this one out, win this first round. But it's been a close one so far, going the distance both times. And I wonder if they're gonna change anything up. Are these teams also just gonna run the same Ryan compositions every single map? Doesn't look like it. I feel like St. Peter's is gonna be the first one to try and swap away, but it seems like even Fairfield is getting off the Reinhardt train and onto the Monkey train.
Yeah, that they are. We're gonna see something, well, I was gonna say a little bit reminiscent of a six-man dive, but no, not really anymore from either side. Interesting DPS picks here. And support as well, both Sporting and Anna, but I like Clef on the Brigitte. That's gonna really shut down a lot of these dives coming out from St. Peter.
Yep, and right now you're going to be having Nachos look for some angles here. Is a little bit outranged by Gil, but if they can get to that more medium range, is slightly favored. Faster fire rate will do that for you.
And here we go. We've got a lot of damage coming out now from both of these Tesla cannons. Halston going down very low. They almost get de-mech'd, but the heals are there to keep them up. Rick able to find Min though. So because of that, there's not going to be enough heals to keep Halston in their mech. Rick taking advantage of that. Ratchet going to come in, find a counter pick, but they're only going to last for so long. At this point, going to go over to Fairfield first.
Oh, and the Ana looking for the background flank is going to find it. It's going to take out 2 right there on the Ana character. Not something you normally see. Generally want to stay behind, but woke up and chose violence today, it would seem.
Yeah, Logo de Polo certainly did. That was a very aggressive Ana play coming out, but you know what? It worked. And now Fairfield gonna look to hold this choke here very strongly, hoping to not let them in. We do have Nacho swapping over to the Reaper, and I like this change. It's gonna be able to chew through Rick on this Winston very efficiently, very quickly. Hercules gonna try and keep them at bay, though, for the moment. They have the self-destruct. Do they need it? Nachos now pushing on the point, but they're gonna be pushed away and back. Backfires are coming out from Walk. Gonna deal a lot of damage into the St. Peter side. Here comes a Meteor Strike going after Logo de Polo. Almost finds them. They are down in the back line. Looking to see if they can get a little extra there, too. Clef wasn't there to keep Logo de Polo alive that time. Ratchet does eventually go down, but not before more damage is done. This St. Peter's team looking to reclaim, or rather take this point for the first time. Bob is committed, but they're only gonna last for so long.
Bob is a good butler there, gonna stall out a little bit percentage, but nothing more. That's an ultimate you really kind of want to hold on to most of the time. A lot of people try to use it for stall some ticks, but it's really powerful. It's so supremely powerful in the fact that it actually can kind of edge that character Ash over something like a Cassidy or a Widowmaker. But the rally, that's an ultimate that has been quite strong, quite strong indeed.
Wow, but a nade coming out from Hunter, very strong as well. Briefly stops that push coming out from Fairfield. Gill's going to be able to take out Sellout, taking a page out of their book, swapping over to the Reaper at like the swaps coming out from both sides. Resurrection does come in from Min Min, but the rest of the team has fallen. Sellout now pops that Primal Rage to try and stay alive. They're going to try and keep getting point percentage flicked over, but Fairfield has this pretty well locked down. Nachos does get a counter pick onto Gill, so this isn't over yet. Fairfield does eventually take point.
Yep, they take that point away, 57% now. Brick is in trouble. The Reaper does a lot of damage in those close quarters. He's going to have to back up. Walk is also 1 HP. These long-range duels, short-range duels, no matter what it is, they have to win. Oh my, 2 different prongs of attack here. Nachos gets one on the backside somehow.
Yeah, we've got both Reapers showing up in a big way. Nano Boost now committed onto Sellout. That Tesla Cannon working overtime right now. Fairfield up to about 80% here. Logan Apollo has the Nano Boost. Do they need to commit it yet, though, is the question. Or are they going to save it for this next fight? It looks like they're going to be able to do just that.
It's set that it looks like they have a lot of time to get back on the point here, but it's really not much at all. This is gonna have to be, someone has to start moving now to look to potentially touch. They're gonna have a rally on this point as well. That's gonna shut down any approach, really. They have like 200 extra HP on all the approaches on point right now. This fight does not seem winnable.
No, it certainly
doesn't.
But Halston is gonna come back in a big way. Self-destruct catches 2 out. This could be an opportunity for St. Peter's to come back. Nade lands from Logan Apollo, though, and that's going to be the end of Min Min. Halston gets demeched as well. Nachos not to be outdone, though. They do find a pick on the Clef. Is it going to be enough with Ratchet connecting with those rockets as well? This could be St. Peter's taking this point back.
A little bit of a caster curse for you there. A little bit.
Right?
Nothing. I'd like to relish the power a little bit. Sometimes I just say things for the hope of jinxing people. It's just something I do. I'm abusing my power, so what? But we're going to be seeing here who can kind of get off these valuable ults. They have basically the same ults coming up, except one team has that nano a little bit faster. Do they play slow for that? Take some poke? Not much poke to be found. It's just going to be walk shooting your tanks, basically. But instantly, they go in.
As they do, Nachos is there, though, to start dealing in damage with those Hellfire Shotguns. Here comes a Death Blossom, but it's going to be eaten up completely by the Defense Matrix. Both of them, as a matter of fact, unable to find what they needed. Halston is out of their mech, though, so this is looking a little bit better for Fairfield at the moment, but Ratchet comes in with a nice kill as well. Self-destruct lands, but it's not going to find anybody. Walk going down very low. Ratchet doing an excellent job finding some damage right there. 92% now on the board for St. Peter's. This is such a close matchup, but walking away with it. 3K right there might be the end of this fight, and that might be Fairfield going up 1-0 in this match. What a performance coming out of this Fairfield team.
Yes, and right there, Fairfield coming out with the first win here, first map win here. They still have to get 2 more on the board before they secure it, but really back and forth showing right there from both squads, so this could go the distance.
It certainly could. This is a very close matchup. This is, frankly, not at all what I expected. I love, these players from Fairfield, but I didn't think they were going to be able to come away with a win against this St. Peter's team. But you know what? The winter break, maybe some magic happened there in Fairfield because they are looking strong.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest reasons why this team kind of may have slipped up in the fall season, they had a lot of people, I believe, leaving. A lot of seniors were going out, graduating, that kind of stuff, and they were trying to kind of come together as a team, and maybe it just took an extra semester than what you would hope, but better late than never, as they always say. This team looks definitely like they compete against St. Peter's in this match, especially.
It's going to be curious to see how they're going to perform as we move on to the Escort and Hybrid map next, because these play very differently, and a lot of times we see teams that can excel on Control Point, but then kind of drop the ball a little bit on Hybrid and Control. But if Fairfield can keep up this kind of play, they're going to make this a very tough matchup for St. Peter's, and I'm here for it.
Yep, and pretty sure it is Kings Row next, so
Oh,
gonna
yes.
be more Rush coming out. Something we
As the 2CP maps are concerned, I think probably the most brawl-centric map that you can find. So it's just interesting that through the roll of the dice this time around, we're heading into such a brawl-centric kind of week.
yeah.
Fairfield, I'm going to be curious to see, yeah, how they come away with this, because if we look back at that last map, it was 1-to-1 on kind of the brawl-centric maps, right? Fairfield took the first one on Village, and St. Peter's came back and took the one on Temple. So this could really go either way, and it's just going to come down to who I think has a better understanding and has a better execution of this brawl composition.
Yeah, and we'll end up seeing kind of if St. Peter's just go to more traditional style of brawl, because that is kind of what is favored on Kings Row a lot of the time. Not that you can't do other things, it's just with how claustrophobic the first 2 points are. Other kind of strategies become kind of very difficult to run when a rush team is in your face the entire time, right?
Yeah.
When that's happening, double sniper, kind of double shield comps, they get a lot harder because they can basically just bridge the gap to you by just holding certain positions, or like instantly. They don't even have to really rotate like you have to do on other maps. So
Right.
very hard to run.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're going to get a sneak peek now, though, into what both of these teams are thinking. Fairfield going to be on the defense first, and they are running out with a very standard-looking brawl composition, just like we thought they would. Gil on the May, that's going to be very, very, very beneficial for Fairfield. That first choke can be just clogged up so efficiently and so well by Gil. We may see a rotation going through cinema, or movie theater, rather, by this St. Peter's squad.
Yep, and again, it's kind of showing no Lucio going to be standard here, are going to be going on top of Mondada's head. Typically, you don't want the Reinhardt for that because he doesn't stay up there. In fact, he does not, in fact, stay up there very long. We'll have to drop very quickly, but they're just going to try and force them back into the back left corner. And then what do they do with the space? They have to pressure point.
Exactly, yeah. They're going to have to get in the way of that huge gun coming out from Ratchet. It doesn't appear that we're going to have that TP on top of the Mondada statue, at least not initially. Ratchet's just gonna move down main. Gil's able to take Hunter out of the fight, but the res does come in. Ratchet trying as hard as they can to get damage going in, but just not finding it. Nacho's gonna get stunned. Brick already built up that shatter and laid it down. Just gotta walk straight at Ratchet. May have bit off more than they could chew because that immortality field was able to keep them alive. Now Ratchet dealing a lot of damage, but Walk is eventually able to find them. This could go St. Peter's way if they regroup fast.
I'm surprised they go for this, and then don't try to instantly TP back up there. I'm not sure why they didn't. They don't really have much of pressure off the Bastion once they're set up. It's basically going to be a Mei and a Cassie trying to shoot them while everyone else is in their face. Just swap off that for the Fair though.
We do have a flank coming out from Nachos. They are going to be able to take Clef out of the fight, but Brick finds Sellout as well. Photon Barrier going to get committed right as the high noon has popped, and that's going to allow St. Peter's to stay out of the way and start to capture this point. Excellent play coming out here from this Symmetra player, Nachos.
Yeah, Quef dies there mid Lucio beat. Had that gone off, I mean, 1000 HP temporary as it is, still all of your allies is so massive and probably just swings that fight in your favor. We're going to be seeing what they can do next fight though. They're going to play aggressive on this choke. That's generally what you want to do. I want to see Vortex keep jumping up window to stop the Pharaoh from getting free poke, free damage onto the Baptiste, because that's the biggest person you have to protect. Vortex is not looking at it at all.
Wow. Oh my gosh, but look at this. Brick lays down the law with a shatter. Taking out Sellout, immediately finding another pick. Fairfield, they're gonna get this this very prime position at Arches.
Yeah, still maintaining Archer's positioning. We really need to see Ratchet hit some of these directs onto the back line, because that's the only way you're going to really win this out. You have no other advantage there outside of poke, so if you're not landing said poke on the key targets, it's just not going to work, and you see that right there. Your Baptiste's not poked out, they're not afraid to walk forward.
No, they are not. Amplification Matrix going to be committed late by Hunter. That's going to cause members of Fairfield to back up, but they're still finding picks as they do so. And this Arches hold is looking strong.
Yep, and it's going to keep remaining strong until they find a way to really start pressuring the back line. The front line, very healthy right now, especially with the fact that not a lot of damage will be coming down with Brick, and now that he has an Amp Matrix behind him, he's just going to get full healed every single time. Maybe they're just playing for Barrage here. Vortex has to be on point with that DM though.
That they do. Shatter's going to come out. 5 members of Fairfield hit the ground. Here comes a barrage, but it's not going to find any kills. Counter Shatter comes out from Brick. They are going to find their demise at the hands of a Gravitic Flux from Halston. And with that, the stranglehold on Arches has been broken, and St. Peter's is going to continue their march through the streets of Kings Row.
Yep, and right now it's going to be leveraging how much can they get out of this Fairfield now. That's their only real win condition. They don't have any ultimates online. Again, Sigma plus Sigma rocks orbs, I guess. They're not rocks. He has one of those. That could basically one-shot a squishy, but the bomb is also going to one-shot some squishies of their own right there.
That it is. A couple things coming in fast and furious for Fairfield. This fight is over almost before it starts.
Yep, just gone. Basically, bomb goes in, kills one, pressures the others out, gets them low. That's all they wrote. I really want to see this team try to play with a Lucio. I know Min might not be as comfortable on it, but if you can just 3-2-1 speed around and try and pressure out Reinhardt, I think that could be very beneficial. Right now, you can't even walk in with your main core because you just don't have the follow-up for it that's necessary, especially with a Sigma that isn't able to help out your Reinhardt in a way like a D.Va or a Zarya. It's just rough.
Logan Apollo pops that Am Matrix. That's going to get a lot of damage going in. It's going to slow the roll of this St. Peter's side. Deadeye Flank is going to find one. Mercy out of the sky. Sellout throws down the Shatter, but it's not going to find too much. There are a couple picks. Weapons out of the fight. Vortex going very low, but they are able to find a pick of their own and stay almost in mech. They are going to be D-mech, so this is an opportunity now for St. Peter's to come in. They're going to do just that. Hunter finds Guild, and with that, Fairfield forced to back up. Quite the turn of events there for St. Peter's.
Yeah, just turns back in their favor, but now coming back with a Shatter. 3 on the ground. Watch out for the Junkrat spam. That's all you really need to do. Ultimates back and forth right now is going to decide the course of this fight.
That it is. They have the Gravitic Flux. Here it comes. Can they lift members off the point long enough to get a Sig 9? Nope, they're not. As Guild pops that tac visor as soon as he hears members of his team go up in the air. This is a close fought fight, but it is going in the way of St. Peter's, especially after the res onto Ratchet. Just 3 meters and change to go before they capture this point, but they still have to take care of these few heroes from Fairfield. The Remac comes in from Vortex, and that is a big boon for them. Amp Matrix now used by Hunter. That's going to force Fairfield back once again, and as quick as Vortex was in their mech, they're back out. Brick finds a nice fire strike. Logan Apollo gonna fall though. Sound barrier committed now by Fairfield. They're gonna be up 1 now in this fight, and I can't believe it. They come back and hold.
Potentially losing too late, that's disastrous. But they're very low. If they kill Ratchet right now, doesn't happen. If they killed Ratchet and Hunter right there, they can still maintain this hold, but that looks like it's it. Looks like St. Peter's gonna push it through. Nothing they can do to stop it any longer, but a good stall nonetheless. I doubt this will finish with time. If it does, it's gonna have to be a speed run where this cart does not stop once.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're gonna have to have 3 people on this cart the entire time, and that's gonna severely impact their ability to take this frontline fight. Sellout gonna start to move forward now. They need to land a big shatter here. Brick now looking for the same. Fire strike thrown in. There's the shatter, but it gets blocked. Stun comes in as well, and Sellout is gone. Now it's just free reign for Fairfield to do as they please. Nice charge coming in from Brick as well. This isn't over yet. The Valking Mercy has kept their team alive and kept them in it. Now there's less than a minute to go, and Fairfield has successfully pushed back against St. Peter's.
Yeah, you're gonna be seeing here, I wonder how much damage can this soldier actually end up doing taking this angle as they walk in. Trying to get through 2 shields is gonna be tough for them. Once they pop the tac visor as well, they can get shut down quite easily by that Sigma. It'll be interesting how much value they can get out of that. They could try to speed around corner high noon. It's gonna do a lot of shield damage, but they don't even need it. Just do it. Do 2 shields, who cares?
Yeah, excellent shot coming out there from Gil. Clef not to be outdone either, but Nachos comes in with a 2K Deadeye. Logan Apollo finding a couple as well. It is just back and forth between these 2 teams. But as the dust is settling, Fairfield's coming up a little bit stronger right now. 10 seconds left to go. Somebody from St. Peter's has to touch, and they have to touch soon. But they're going to be walking straight into a Deadeye. Here comes the Gravitic Flux and the Deadeye. Gonna come in, takes a player out. Hunter is gone. It's just up to Min to keep them alive in this fight. The tac visor is gonna be brutal coming out from Gil. Falk finds the pick on the Halston. Nachos goes down low. They're taken out as well. And Fairfield's gotta be able to hold on. They've got a shatter as well that can keep anyone away from point as they try and come in. Les tries to come in from Min, but it's not gonna be there. And with that charge onto Hunter, that's gonna be Fairfield hold.
Yeah, it's a pretty early third point hold as well. So not much having to go after that second point. That's really strong for them. It means that the enemy defense has to play in a very awkward position. They have to play that first corner. They can't back up mostly because it will just give too much cart space. Well, you have to now walk into them aggressively and have to use resources when you really don't want to. So it is going to be interesting. You can see right there where that payload has to go. I mean, that's such an awkward spot to try and defend. You have to play first corner or maybe even first choke, and even then none of those are ideal, as that second choke being able to fall back to that. But on this offense, how can something like a flying character, which I'm assuming we're going to be seeing here from St. Peter, help them on their defense as opposed to their offense, where on defense you kind of want a little bit more of that pressure on backline because they have to walk in, and it's a lot easier that way. But now we're going to be seeing the Lucio on defense where it's less necessary than on offense.
Yeah, that is going to be crucial though. Having they're going to have 2 ways to keep their teams alive. They're going to have the immortality field plus sound barrier. Fairfield looking to have that as well. And the DPS line having a little problem deciding what they want. They eventually settle on May and Soldier 76. Like both of these picks, and we're going to see 76 on the other side as well. Fairfield going to use it too.
Yeah, typically it's Cassie in that slot just because flashbang is quite strong. I mean, if you hit it on a couple people, I call it I just call it an earth shatter. I say I hit an earth shatter every time I do that. Basically what it is, especially since that earth shatter got nerfed on the CC duration.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of damage coming in now from Fairfield. Walk is able to find Min, and now this St. Peter squad not going to be able to back up like they need to get out of the way of this damage that is just coming through hand over fist from Fairfield. Falk is going to be taken out, but there is another counter pick in favor of Fairfield, so they're still up 1, and their spawn is so much closer. Logan Apollo doing an excellent job keeping their tank line and everybody else alive. Unfortunately, Gil does fall for them as well. They've all going to come out, sectioning off a few people of Fairfield, catching that Diva out. Vortex almost gets demech, but they're able to survive long enough to find their support line again. While Fairfield had a couple of picks, they weren't able to translate it into point control yet. Logan Apollo pops the Amp Matrix, so now they're going to be able to push in a lot harder. That shield of Sellout's going to be hard-pressed to last long. But look at this. St. Peter's coming out with a tremendous hold here on first point. They're going to wipe Fairfield off the map. And almost a minute and a quarter off the clock.
Not a single tick given. That's amazing for them, especially when it looks so dire. Min Min
Yeah.
is probably the one character that you're like, okay, we're fine with this person getting picked first. Anything else can be very dangerous because Min Min can get back so fast, and also the Lucio in a lot of situations isn't providing so much outside of that initial speed boost or an amp heal here or there. So kind of lucky that that was the person that got randomly logged by the Hanzo, but
Yeah.
still a little bit of a boon for them.
Yeah, it certainly is. Fairfield gonna take a long rotation this time around. They're gonna drop towards the backside of point, making sure that they don't take a lot of chip damage. Now we're just seeing a complete swap of sides here. Fairfield gonna come away with point control at the moment, but it's being hotly contested by St. Peter's. Blizzard now committed by Ratchet. Here comes a self-destruct as well from Vortex. Vortex's ult is gonna land, as is Gills. Gills coming in huge right now with attack visor, just mowing down everybody. Halston doesn't stand a chance there. And with that, Fairfield gonna be able to capture this first point.
Yeah, it kind of just came down to the ults getting popped earlier there for Fairfield as opposed to St. Peter's, who took a little bit longer on their ultimates to kind of throw it out, especially that window. I'm surprised the windows are being held for this long. That ultimate is built up in 20 seconds, and you can try to just throw it out almost every single fight. It's a great opener, a great finisher, a great anything, because it just forces resources or just kills people if they don't have it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It can burn through so many resources. One resource Ratchet doesn't have is life at the moment as they take the business end of a Dragon Strike. Both shatters land into shields, but it's going to be Gil once again coming up with a big kill on the sellout. No main tank for either team, so no clear advantage for either one. Going to be a lot of damage coming into each side, but St. Peter's is going to back off and give a little bit of cart progress to Fairfield as they wait for their main tank to rejoin.
Yep, and no mech here for D.Va is really rough. This is kind of a rough situation for this D.Va. They want to get that mech back up, but even if they do, they're going to get caught out on the side. Maybe looking for an assassination on the backline is the only play they can really go for, but it still doesn't feel great.
No, it doesn't. Vortex going to try and eat as much of that attack visor as they can, but they are eventually going to be D-Max. Hunter is able to find them out. And with that, St. Peter's coming up with a nice hold here, getting a couple picks, able to retake control of the cart and push back Fairfield.
Yep, there it is. Push them back. St. Peter's getting out of that bad situation when they're basically down one, with Nachos hitting the flank. Min Quef not going to be able to live through that. And now it's going to be interesting. Can they eat this May Blizzard? That's the win condition here for Ratchet and for St. Peter's, but they don't seem to be aware of their positioning. There it is. Vortex was completely unaware.
No, they're going to be caught out. Logan Apollo as well. That's going to be tough if they can find that player. St. Peter's is going to be in a really good position. Logan Apollo does stay up here. Austin going to go on a flank and try and take Gil out of the fight, and that's a big pick if they can get it, but they are instead demech. Hunter goes down as well. Austin now looking for the remech kill. Not able to get it, but they are remeched, and once again, Fairfield has gotten stalled out.
Yeah, right now, they'll be watching out for the flank! Quick, man, what can you say besides MTD in those situations?
Yeah, it looks like the St. Peter's team got Rick rolled right there as their entire team hit the ground. Excellent shatter coming out from the main tank of Fairfield, and with that, they capture second point, and they've got double the time that St. Peter's had going into this point.
And it's once again a situation of like, we're holding on to these windows for so long, and now we're going to be holding on to it even longer because you're just dead. You're going to get some trades out here, but if this doesn't go your way, you're going to at least force out some very critical ultimates. That's St. Peter's holding on for the defense you really want.
Yeah, they're going to come back with a vengeance right here. A nice defense coming out from St. Peter's, and they had to because their backs were against the wall. That golden box of victory for Fairfield is just right around that corner. One good fight from Fairfield, and they're going to take it.
Yep, one good fight is all you ever really need. Maybe walking up here. Don't have much ultimates on the table. Walk, trying to build the ultimate as fast as possible, potentially could hit an arrow dragging down the middle, forces them off the cart, but it's going to be into a couple ultimates. Just kill Min Min again. Just kill Min Min, I guess. I don't know. It's Hanzo things, I guess.
Yeah, beautiful headshot coming in. Now they're going to be able to clear away a lot of the point with this Dragon Strike. Sellout going to be taken out of the fight right after they use their shatter, and this is an opportunity for Fairfield to cap, but Ratchet has other things to say about that. 2 picks on either side. This could easily go either way. Self-destruct from Vortex is going to land. It's going to push it over. Just 0.12 meters separates Fairfield from victory on Kings Row, and they are going to be able to push it almost in. 0.04 meters now. This is wild. What an excellent defense being put up by St. Peter's, but it's not going to be enough. Fairfield goes up 2-0.
Yeah, and it was looking a little dicey there for Fairfield because they had a 3-3 split and a rush composition, not something you can really afford. 3 people turn to look back and turn for the soldier. 3 people kept on the front line. And when that happens, if you're 3 people turning for 1, that's just simple maths right there. That's 5 people shooting your lonely little Reinhardt on the point. That's never something you want to be seeing. That's why you guys have to stay committed. 6 of 1 mind. Just pushing the same target at all times is kind of the idea you want to go for in a rush comp, and that almost spelled doom for them, but the bomb, so well placed, boops away the bob, kills everyone on point, just very well played.
Yeah, and this is quite the showing coming out from Fairfield. They are up 2-0 against one of the top teams in EGF right now, so this Fairfield team, I think, is one to watch out for, but St. Peter's isn't down and out yet. It is very possible that we could see a reverse sweep coming in from them. And that is going to be their last hope because now their backs are against the wall. This is do or die time for them as we get ready to head into Hanamura. But first, we're going to take a short break. So don't go anywhere. We got plenty more action coming at you right after this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the broadcast. If you're just joining us, you are in for a treat. We've got an exciting match between Fairfield University and St. Peter's. We're looking at an upset right now because Fairfield is up 2-0, and now they're sporting a 1-6 record versus St. Peter's, who is 6-1. So this is quite a showing coming out from this squad.
Yeah, so far definitely been punching above their expected weight.
Yeah.
We'll see if that continues on Hanamura. Can definitely be a very snowball-heavy map on the first and second fight of the points. You've seen a nice little view there out in the mountains. The background detail work in Overwatch is quite good, I must say. A lot of the time.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much that you don't notice through a normal, through the normal beats of a game, and I love getting to see some of the atmosphere that they've created at Blizzard. Just a beautiful map, and got a good composition coming out from Fairfield on defense here. They're gonna have Walk on the Junkrat, and that's gonna make it really hard for Sella to push in, especially if they're gonna stay on this Reinhardt.
Yep, Mei has been a staple on this map for quite a while, and I'll say this every time I cast Hanamo and I say Mei, because I like to say how much of a boomer I am. Back in 2016, Mei was considered a very bad character, very bad. You would see her on one map and one map only, and that was Hanamura. That's how classic they were on this map. That was also before SimTP could just take you across, which is why the SimTP strat was kind of invented. Was, hey, how do we get past the Mei wall? Well, SimTP can take us through, and now Mei kind of fell off after that because they could just go past the Mei wall.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to see a SimTP come out this time from St. Peter's. They're going to look to just try and brute force their way through this choke, but they're coming up against quite a tough ball in Fairfield University. Ratchet on the Pharah as well. Going to be trying to get an off angle and dealing some damage to this backline just to avoid that shield altogether. They're causing members of Fairfield to now have to back up and find alternate locations from which to keep spamming this choke, but spam they continue to do. And look at this, Walk is already 80% the way to a Riptire. St. Peter's does try to rotate into the small room to the right of choke, but they meet their demise.
That's never going to be really conducive to winning that fight there. When you're going into the small room against a Junkrat, you have a fire, you want to be playing outside. Again, same issue that the Nepal on Village. They're running the split composition. The Pharaoh wants to play slow, but the rest of their team, they're just sitting around doing nothing. Reaper, 33%. That was from like a Hanzo maybe. You're gonna have a lot more ult percentage, but also a lot more kill threat. So it's just really rough running this split kind of style.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now we got a big shatter. It's gonna land. They're waiting for the Riptire, and it lands as well. That immortality field doesn't last long enough. Hunter and Sellout out of the fight. And with that, Fairfield holds again. Minute and a half burned off the clock.
Yep, there's that minute now gone for them. 2 minutes actually now gone for them. They still have a lot of ultimates to hold on this defense. Gil hasn't been getting a lot of those icicles to land so far, so pretty lacking on that Mei ult charge, but they're gonna have to try and go fast into the enemy team as they try to walk in. The barrage could still be dangerous.
It certainly could. Here it comes, but the immortality field is there. The damage was already done as a couple of picks came in before Ratchet was even in position to launch that barrage into Fairfield. Sound barrier committed, but that may have been a little bit of an overcommit from Clef. It looks like they used both support ults, as a matter of fact.
Both support ults are now gone. They have that Mei Blizzard finally. They finally wisen up. They swapped to a very more traditional style. Trap top right. If they lose mech here, that's really rough. Okay, no, I'm not gonna lose that. But they're gonna try and sim TP past the Mei wall. The counter to this is either going aggressive or full committing onto that TP when they back up. Not gonna be able to full commit on TP because it's on high ground, but the bomb might just change that.
It is certainly gonna cause St. Peter's to have to back out a little bit. Ratchet does find a pick, walks, Riptire not gonna land this time. Blizzard has to be committed by Gil, as this is definitely an advantage right now for St. Peter's University. Ratchet trying to deal in a tremendous amount of damage, but the picks come in favor of Fairfield. However, Logo to Polo is out of the fight, so now it's just up to Clef to keep their team alive, and those Lucio AoE heals are not gonna be enough to keep Walk up as Ratchet tightens the Ratchet down on this point. Gil coming in big though, gets a couple of picks. Percentage starting to be captured now by St. Peter's, but members of Fairfield are back and they are pushing hard against the St. Peter's squad. Photon barrier committed as well. This is now the best opportunity that St. Peter's has to capture this point.
Shatter, there it goes down. Symmetra on the floor. Not going to live for much longer, and they're going to secure this hold without a single tick given away. Nacho's going to try and stall, but on the ball shouldn't live for much longer. Who is going to touch with Nacho's being out of the fight? Remember, it's 10 seconds to respawn, 5 seconds before you even get a grapple available for that hamster, so that's not going to be available right there. Instead, it's going to be the Baptiste trying to touch on this point, but isn't much longer for this world.
No, they are not. Halston now trying to come away with a hero play right here. They have to use that Wraith form to try and get onto point, but they're only going to last so long. Overtime ticking over, and just a few more staggers coming in, but what an incredible hold. That is on the books right now for Fairfield. They just have to take Nachos out of the fight, and this is over.
I think it's a min. The only one that can touch it on both supports now available on this point, but again, it's kind of over. And it's very similar to Nepal, where they're playing these split styles, and you're just wasting so much time trying to get the Pharah style of the slow and methodical to work. Basically, by the Pharah itself, it's only the Pharah committing to that style. Only the Pharah spamming people out. You saw it 2 minutes in. You still you still didn't have some of your key ultimates that you need, especially that Reaper ult. That Reaper was doing absolutely nothing, just sitting there and choke waiting for the Pharah to do stuff. You have to be looking towards playing towards a style, like I said earlier. And then, unfortunately for them, some really clutch picks coming in for the side of Fairfield late in crucial fights. Just leaves them out to dry, really.
Yeah. Quite the showing coming out from Fairfield, and now this is the final moment that St. Peter's can try and come back in this series, and they can't even take a map win here. The best that they can do is to hope to turn Hanamura into Dranamura, because they didn't get anything on that first push. That's a big fat egg up there in the capture percentage. So they're in a very tough spot here, and this has got to be unusual for them as well. I mean, 6-1 is a tremendous record.
Yeah, and I believe they were at the top of their conference, or they were the top, top of the division. because yeah, there they are, St. Peter's University 4-0 in the MAAC standings, and you see Fairfield at 7th compared to the first that St. Peter's did, undefeated in that division so far. So this is a really big upset right now, and a lot of work obviously got put in between these semesters.
Oh my gosh, beautiful TP to point. Mayball's up. Somebody from St. Peter's has to try and touch, but they are zoned out and away from this immortality field up now by Hunter, but they're not going to be long for this world. Quest finds a pick, Rick finds two, and with this, Fairfield looking to take away a game off of St. Peter's. Fairfield gets their second win of the year against St. Peter's. What a showing.
Yeah, a lot seems to have changed with this team recently, because that does not look like a 1-6 performance right there. Obviously, taking out the 6-1 St. Peter's, dropping them down to 6-2, very big stuff for them, and in quite a strong fashion, at least when it comes to the rush mirror. I don't know how it would look if there was other kind of compositions being played, because you obviously saw they don't want to go to that Lucio, which is just a staple of Rush. Obviously, there's ways to make it work that they weren't employing, but there's obviously things that weren't being employed there. But man, yeah, it kind of felt like they were just trying to play a Rush comp, but worse, into a good Rush comp.
Right, yeah, it was very interesting, the composition choices that St. Peter's made, and I kind of have to wonder if maybe they didn't beat themselves a little bit to take away anything from what Fairfield did, because honestly, I would compare them to what we saw in our previous game, where let's see here, who was it? It wasn't Villanova, it was
Villanova was getting beat by William and Mary.
William and Mary, yeah, William and Mary, they just look to play it by the book every single time. And that's what Fairfield did as well. This was just a very, very solid performance on Brawl, through and through.
Yep, through and through. Seems to be kind of a staple so far. A lot of teams in certain tiers love Brawl, and then as you kind of move up, it gets less played and less played and less played, because the ball comps are just so oppressive if you have certain key positions playing extremely well. I mean, if you have a good ball player, good DPS players, it's like becomes extremely oppressive to play against on such a variety of maps. It's not like GOATS where it's like a one size fits all kind of thing where you can run it everywhere, but on the vast majority of maps, that composition does kind of tear Brawl apart. But we haven't seen that yet, and we've been seeing these Brawl mirrors, and it just goes the way of the team that plays it more coordinated, more disciplined. That is kind of what that composition looks for.
Yeah. Beautiful showing coming out from Fairfield. I'm excited to see what this team can do moving into the future. Excellent, excellent performance coming out from them. We're going to be back in just a few short minutes with an interview from one of the members of Fairfield, so don't go anywhere. More Overwatch to come. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We've got the support phenom from Fairfield here in the interview booth. Logo to Polo. Congratulations, Logo, on a phenomenal showing today against a very tough opponent in St. Peter's.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, they were very tough, but I think we pulled through.
Yeah, I would say you absolutely did. Now to start things off, I just wanna ask, what is the difference between this squad in the fall and the spring? Because you look like a completely different team. You do not look like a 1-6 team. Make that 2-6 now.
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, we picked up a new kid, Alec.
Mm.
Great diva. We sort of also swapped some roles. I went off to support. DPS went on to main tank. So I think everything just sort of clicked.
It really appears that that is the case. Worst, want to turn it over to you for a question or two.
Yeah, so obviously you win out against a 6-1 team, top of that conference. But how far do you think you can ride this momentum now coming into the new semester? How far do you think this goes?
To be honest, we just take it day by day and team by team. I think a lot of it has to do with our mental. Some people like to look at the other team's ranks and it sort of gets to their head. So I think once we sort of calm some fears down and just work together, I think we could go pretty far.
Absolutely, I certainly agree. Now, what has it been like for you swapping over to support? Do you feel more comfortable in this role?
Oh yeah, for sure. I played support all winter long with a couple other friends in the EGF. We play almost every night until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just grinding out ranked.
Yep. Yep.
So
Excellent. Worst, anything else from you?
Yeah, it's kind of like just kind of an incredible turnaround for you guys. Um, and obviously you guys played a lot of that Ryan compositions. Um, is that like the composition you're most comfortable on, or are you guys also comfortable on other comps?
I think for sure that's the one we're most comfortable on for right now, but we also have a couple other ones in mind that we might be pulling out in future matches for sure.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Excited to see what you do there. Now, a couple more quick questions just to close it out. Um, what do you all have planned to celebrate? I mean, getting your second win of the season, first one of the spring split. Yeah, you got any plans to celebrate?
We'll probably go around and competitive and just start doing some stupid stuff in there. Drop a couple hundred SR tonight maybe and go from there.
All right, sounds good. I like that plan. Well, before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs to anybody? Teammates, family, friends, anyone?
For sure, shout out to my family for watching. I don't know who's watching or who is, but them for sure. My team for actually putting me on support for one, which is definitely the better option for me. And then, I mean, all the other EGFC Overwatch kids, man, we've played together, done pugs Saturday nights, Sunday nights for the past couple weeks. So
Awesome. Well, congratulations once again, and what an incredible showing coming out from Fairfield. Good luck to you in the future. Hope to see more incredible Overwatch coming out from you.
thank you very much. We'll do our best.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Well, that's gonna do it for me tonight, Worst. This was my final broadcast of the evening, but there's still so much more Overwatch happening on this channel and others for EGF. Before I say my goodbyes, just want to remind everybody to follow all the EGF socials. Follow mine and Worst as well. We love getting new followers, and you can stay up to date about when we're going to be casting and what we are going to be doing if you do just. Uh, so that's gonna do it from me. Any final words from you, Worst, before we close?
No, I think you got everything right there. You guys might be seeing me still continuing tonight. So even though Juggle's leaving, I'm still gonna be here. So keep on watching. We have some more Overwatch, some more matches to bring you, and hopefully they're as good as that last one or better because that was pretty dang good.
Yeah, it certainly was. Well, I want to give a quick thanks to everybody behind the scenes as well. Thank you, Eon, for being our producer and observer tonight, taking on both of those roles. Thank you to everybody at EGF, and thank you all to watching tonight. Thank you as well, Worst, for being my co-caster this evening. And can't wait to see what's coming up next on EGF. Be ready for another phenomenal caster to come in here. Waffles for Sid. Love her work. She's going to be great to take you through the rest of this Overwatch journey tonight. But that's going to do it for me. So, GG's and see you next time.